Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna work on this 1985 190e. This car actually belongs to my girlfriend and it's her first car she ever bought. When we found this car, she immediately fell in love with it, mainly due to its unusual color combination. This is what Mercedes calls Rietgrün, but I have met quite a few people who also call it boogie color. The inside Mercedes-Benz calls champignon, also known as button mushroom. While the car is overall still in a pretty good shape, it needs some maintenance. So here is what I'm gonna do today. Full front suspension overhaul, new shocks all around, new center prop shaft bearing, change out a few more bushings on the rear suspension, do an oil change, fix a leak from the automatic transmission cover, and because she's my girlfriend and I love her very much, I'm also gonna give the car a polish. We've worked on this car after she bought it, and it's a memory that I'll probably keep forever. But after she moved to a different city, now that's sadly not possible anymore. Since this car has only 120,000 kilometers since new, I do believe it has quite a lot of life left in it. If you're looking to get into working on your own car, this one makes it quite easy. There's actually a ton of space in the engine bay to work. Most parts are still readily available and not that expensive. Here where I live, you actually see still a ton of 190e being daily driven on the road. Rust is definitely an issue for these cars, but this one was in surprisingly good shape. I will start by removing the, what's it called, stabilizer in the front, and then I think I have to compress the springs and then loosen all the balls and yeah, get this wishbone style suspension out. But if you look closely here, these bushings are quite worn. I hope this is the reason for the bad handling, so I'm gonna change that now. The stabilizer is out. Doesn't look too bad. Actually, these bushings are, I mean, they're not destroyed. They're even kind of pliable still. But, I mean, we have to remove it anyways, so we change them. And I'm kind of wondering if this is gonna work how I think it will work. So I think this is not gonna work because I'm only compressing part of the spring and it's not gonna be enough to get it out. No, it cannot work because this is the type of spring compressor that I bought and this is the type of spring compressor that I need. Mercedes-Benz from that time need an inside spring compressor to properly compress the springs. It's out. Little bump is out. I should have loosened that while everything was still attached, right? Well, you learn. I had actually changed the bump stop and the dust cover recently because it's very important for our bi-yearly technical inspection. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna exchange the whole shock now. I'm not quite sure if this is the right way to do it, like change the suspension part and the shock absorber at the same time, because this is literally just dangling here now. I'm not sure I'm gonna get it back together in a nice way, but I don't know. You live and you learn. Since this is also made in Western Germany, I do believe it is the original one. So it's good that we change it actually. Whew, that was exhausting. So I do actually believe now the way I'm doing it is definitely not the right way, because it's putting way too much strain on the brake line. Even though I initially supported with the strap, I had to take off the strap kind of to arrange everything, and yeah, it's not good. Don't do that. It will put too much pressure on this brake line. Do it one by one, not like me. Here's the new, I don't know how you call it, wishbone? I have no idea. Front suspension. I have just removed this, again, I'm not sure what it's called, for the steering, and you can see it's completely fucked. Like, completely shut. So it's really good that we changed it. That's the driver's side all done. Time for the other side. Next I want to try and change the rear suspension subframe bushings. There's a front and a rear bushing on each side, and I think subframe bushings are kind of notorious for being hard to remove. So I hope it's gonna be not too hard for this one. Let's see. So this is the front bushing, and there is the rear bushing. So I got it out now, and it's actually not the rubber bushing that was turning, but just this rubber piece underneath this disc. So I've loosened the rear bushing as well, so now I have here a little bit more space. And let's see how I can get this off. Probably a burner would be better, but I really don't want to smoke myself in this closed room. I'm trying to add a little bit of pressure from underneath using a jack and a hammer. I don't know if it works. Let's see. I hope that the combination of pressure plus heat might help me get it out. Number one is out. Whew. That wasn't easy, but honestly not as bad as I thought. Ooh, still hot. So I think the key to success is heat. I guess if you use like a strong burner, probably goes even faster. Heat, WD-40, always alternating, and then kind of trying to get the screwdriver at an angle and then lift it out. Took me about 30 minutes, maybe 40, but I have 3 more to go. Got it. Whew. Fucking hell. The issue right now is that I'm struggling to get this new bushing in. I'm already supporting it from the top and trying to push it in with the jack and the hammer, but it doesn't want to slide in. I checked, and the new bushing seems to be slightly larger than the old one. It's also slightly different design. I don't know if this is the reason or if it's just stiff, but the jack does not seem to have enough power. It's just lifting the car. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna get this in. So this rear bushing turned out to be a major pain in the ass. The problem is I simply cannot get it back in. It's always locking up in a non-straight position and doesn't want to slide in. I've now constructed like a homemade device that I hope will help me push it in. Wish me luck. So as you can see, I'm making some progress. Takes forever, but I think this might actually work. As you can see, I guess it worked. It's inside. I'm really fucking happy now. Next is new rear shock absorbers. I think they're actually not that bad. I mean, the bushing is completely shot and they are not in the best of condition, but I think they're actually fine. I wouldn't, strictly speaking, need to change those, but because I'm doing the fronts anyways, let's do the backs as well. Whew. First side is done, and this was actually the easiest that I've done so far on this car, so that's kind of motivating. So these rear shocks are made in Western Germany as well, so most likely they are the original ones, so good thing that we changed them. With the suspension now all back together in the front and the rear, I still had to swap the oil filter and put in some fresh engine oil. So it's actually not so easy to see, but maybe there you can see. It had actually quite a big oil leak, this oil pan. So we actually had the gasket changed, but it started to leak again, especially during the colder months. So I believe when it was cold, everything got a little bit smaller and then the car started leaking. Now it doesn't look so bad. Since swapping the gasket didn't help stop the oil leak, I believe maybe the oil pan itself is not straight anymore, and this is causing the oil leak, so I'm gonna swap out the oil pan itself now. can see it was also previously glued in with RTV, so yeah, we have been struggling with this for some while. But now I will try to clean it again and then install the new pan with the new gasket. Brand new oil pan. Plus new gasket. For removing gasket material, I can highly recommend this Victor Rein's Remove Gasket Material Remover. Really nice stuff. Let's get this new pan installed. Next, let's switch the fuel filter. This old filter has a 06 written on it, so it's about 20 years old, so time for a change. I would love to have a real car lift working underneath the car like this and filming yourself at the same time. Kind of gets tiring quite fast, but oh well, maybe one day. So next on our list is this central prop shaft bearing, and depending on the condition, maybe also this flex disc. So, I mean, it doesn't look horrible, but it's quite wobbly, and I do believe it's supposed to be more firm than that. So, I think it's a good idea that we change it. Well, actually, this side kind of looks bad. So as you can see, the bearing itself, or the inner part of the bearing, is still on. I was hoping that I can get it off without cutting it, because I don't want to be damaging the shaft itself, but it seems like I won't be able to do that, so I'll have to cut it off now. So this, how do you call this? In German it's Hardyscheibe. I forgot the English word for it right now. But actually it doesn't look too bad. It seems like the whole prop shaft or drive shaft was replaced at some point. I think here there's a date, it's 1999. So it was definitely replaced once in this car's life. But still, it's already 26 years old. This still looks fine, but because I bought a new one, I'm just gonna replace it anyways. And interestingly enough, this part is made in Germany, which I guess it's a really rare thing to see nowadays from these kind of replacement parts. I just realized the marks that I made were absolutely stupid, because they're still all on the part that's still in the car. So it kind of didn't make any sense to put them there. Which also means that I'm not really putting the drive shaft together correctly the way it was balanced. But let's just hope it doesn't get too much out of balance. Yeah. This is one of those jobs that if you had a proper car lift to get the car high up in the air, it would be so much faster. Not constantly looking for the screws and looking for the tools and like struggling with stuff falling down, and yeah, but you have to work with what you got. Usually I really hate leaving everything in chaos, especially in the workshop, but today is just one of those days. car is all polished up now. Like I said earlier, it's not a super detailed job. It's just one pass over the car, remove the hazing. There's still a lot of deeper scratches in the paint. I guess it all could be corrected. Still a few things that I have to get done, and I have to finish everything before she returns from vacation in a few days. Plus, I have to drive all across the country back to where she's living. So I'm here driving on the Autobahn now, on my way back to return this car. It's a wonderful day, perfect weather for driving, and I'm happy to say that all the issues that we had with the car, the drowning at around 120 kilometers per hour, the boaty feeling at higher speeds, everything is gone. It drives much better now. I believe probably it drives like a new car, I would say now. So I'm really happy, and I think everything we did, front suspension, rear subframe bushings, the shocks all around, everything was the right call to do. So I'm happy that we did that, and it has really transformed the car. I mean, the car drove nice before, which is probably a testament to the quality of this car. I mean, worn out suspension, probably really tired shocks, and it still drove nice. But now it drives even nicer. I really enjoy driving this car, and every time I do, I think to myself, this is actually everything you need in a car. What else do you really need? I mean, maybe having AC would be nice in summer, but that was simply extremely rare at the time this car was made, and still to this day, not all cars in Germany have AC. The 190e is really on the top of my list of recommended cars for people trying to get into classic cars, experience their first classic car. It's a joy to work on, it's relatively easy, everything is accessible, parts are cheap, so it's really a car I can recommend to everybody. And the interesting thing is, this car is now pretty much exactly 40 years old, and it really feels kind of timeless. And it's interesting when I compare it to my personal car, the E28 BMW, they do feel different. And the BMW is one class above this, it's a 5 Series, and this is basically what you would consider today a C Series to be. A C Class, excuse me. And while this car, I would say, distinctly feels like it was made in the 80s, but still feels timeless, the E28 feels older. And my E28 is 1 year younger than this car. It's an 86 model year, but it still feels older. The E28 somehow still feels like it was made in the 70s or in the end of the 70s. While this car feels like a distinctive 80s car to me. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers!